My name is Marisha Agarwal and I'm back with another video. So the reason I'm making this video is because when I first moved to the city, I had a really big fear of overspending because I was constantly converting euros to rupees and rupees to euros, and it was a big mess. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about 7 ways in which you can save your money after moving to the city of Groningen. So the first tip to budgeting is to manage your money, and the way I manage my money is in 2 ways. One, I use my app on my phone for my bank, and the second way that I use it is to make a spreadsheet. The way I make this table is a very simple process. All I do is make columns of different kinds of expenses that I could have in terms of, let's say, buying books or groceries or shopping or activities, and I keep it for like over the month, and I just take my bills, I collect them, and I just write them down as and when I'm spending it. And then at the end of the month, I collect my total amount and I compare that to every month, and I see if I'm saving money or if I'm spending money. Talking about saving and spending money, this brings me to my second tip, which is talking about the bank. Now what I did is I opened a savings account with my bank, and what that helps me do is that it helps build interest first of all, but also it helps me manage my money in a way that I don't have too much money onto one account. So I have my normal student account, which is my running account, and I have an interest savings account. Another tip that I would highly recommend is that you go to your bank and ask them about their insurance policies. So with my bank, I have like a combined student policy, which basically takes care of a lot of insurances at the same time, and it's auto deducted, so you don't even have to worry about the deadlines. Here's my tip number 3, which is traveling. So with traveling, we know that it's a lot of fun to explore new places, but it does come with a very big price tag. So I have a few tips for you, which can help you save and cut down a little bit of your costs, at the same time not cut down on the fun experiences. So this has been my lifesaver, and this is the OV chip card. So basically you get 2 kinds of OV chip cards. One is a personalized one, which is the yellow one, and one is an anonymous one, which is the blue one. I have a personalized one, but that doesn't really matter much. So basically how these cards works is that these cards work on buses and trains, so you could travel to within the city or even to a different city, which is awesome because you get to explore different cities as a weekend getaway, which is normally what I do. You could always load up different kinds of discount packages for students from their site. So talking about traveling over the weekend with your friends, that's always an option, and you actually have an advantage as a student because not only with your OV chip card you get discounts, but you also get discounts with your university card because this acts as a student ID. And with that, you could avail discounts for companies like Flixbus, but you could also get free, almost free canal tours, which is beautiful because that's the charm of the Netherlands. So every now and then, I love to shop. I normally spend most of my money on food, on clothes, and maybe some splurges somewhere here and there. And this brings me to my tip number 4, which is basically how to save your money and how to get the best of discounts while you're shopping. And one way that could help you reduce the kind of costs is by getting discount cards. And I might have a small problem collecting discount cards. You can get these discount cards and bonus cards for almost free or maybe as less as 50 cents. Another discount card that I use is the one by the university. So the university cafeteria, they have passes like this, your stamp passes for soups, for teas, coffees, fruits. So what I do is every time I buy a new soup, I make sure that I stamp at the back of my card, and then once all of my stamps get full, I basically get a free soup or a free coffee. Us students, we love free anything. So since I'm on my phone almost all the time, I discovered that a lot of the food apps actually have a tie-up with different other companies or convenience stores, and what they do is every time you purchase an order from their site or their app, they basically give you loyalty points. And then I could use these loyalty points to get different vouchers redeemed. So basically I pay for my food and then I get free vouchers. So I've talked a lot about how we can save money and how we can manage our money, but how do we actually earn money? And this brings me to tip number 5, which is basically how to find jobs for cash. So you can sign up to be a student test subject with PhD paid research groups, and the way in this works is that basically you sign up onto Nestor and you see what groups you like and you can join whatever groups are available, and then from there you basically just become a test subject and they conduct experiments on you, and it's totally safe, don't worry. It's a nice way to meet people and to learn about their studies in a different way. The second way you can earn money is by working at a restaurant or a grocery store. Only issue is that the work permits here are kind of strict. So with this city being so diverse, there are plenty of student associations you can join. So I'm a part of the Groningen Indian Student Association, and being a board member always has its perks. So basically, along with organizing events, making new friends, you also as a board member get to have either discounted ticket prices or almost free entry to most of our events because hey, we're organizing it. So with our board, we use our profits to make these hoodies for our board members. I'm also a member of the Chemistry and Engineering Student Association here in the university. They give us discounts for the textbooks. And textbooks are really expensive, so even a few euros off of discount really helps. So coming to my last tip is lifestyle. My first and most important tip would be to live in a shared accommodation. And I know a lot of us fancy having our own apartments, but here, housing is tough. So basically grab whatever you can, and if it's a shared accommodation, it's the best thing. You have to share the facilities, but at the same time you share the rent, and that makes housing expenses a lot cheaper. So let's say you don't want to live in a shared accommodation. The other option for you is that you could become an RA for a shared accommodation. So basically what that entails is that you would be the manager of the housing unit, but at the same time you would get discounted rent rates for your room, and you'd get to make new friends from all over the world. So talking about housing, the best way to transport your stuff, really want to feel Dutch, is to use a buckwheat. Now, I'm barely 5 feet, but if I can drive one with a mattress and lampshades and bed and a bed frame and desks, I think you can too. This is one tip that really saved me. I would plan out the groceries that I need for the whole week and what kind of stuff I want to cook over the week. I would buy it all in one day. This actually helps me make cheaper food than compared to store-bought or canteen-bought food, and that saves you money and fills your stomach. So I hope you liked the video, and I hope that these tips helped you the way they helped me. I will see you in the next video. Until next time!